Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today it's all about whips. And that's pretty much mostly what I have. So stay tuned. We're going to take a look at all the stuff I've been working on. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done any whips in a while, and I'm sorry. I didn't do any for the month of August. I mean, I was working on them. I did actually show you what I was working on for the month of August. And to be honest with you, I'm not really sure why. All of my whips are currently long projects. And so I think I was trying to get something finished. And then before I know it, the month just like dissolved. It went away. I know that recently there was a lot of like, okay, are you just trying to sell us stuff with the books and all that stuff? No, 100%, absolutely not. It's just that these books were coming out. They were given to me. And I wanted to make sure that you got to take a look at them right before they were released. What you decide to do with them is up to you. I happen to love them. But anyway, so this is all about whips. And some of the whips I have found in some of the books. So let's get started. Let's start with the things that I finished. And I technically did finish these in August. The first thing, and I'm actually really excited about this one, is my pin loom vest. I showed you this in June. Make sure I've got this the right way. In June and July, right before the Brit and I went away on our trip, I had all the squares done and I blocked them, but I didn't know how long it was going to take me to sew them all together and figure that out. So I waited until I got home to do it. And I love how this came out. So watch this. I absolutely love this. So these are just a series of squares. And you can see across the back. Now, I could wear this. I could wear this without a shirt underneath. You could wear it with a tank top underneath. You could do whatever you want. They're calling it a vest. I kind of wish that the pattern had showed me how to like just have this open in the middle. I would really love to just have an open vest, but I would have had to do some triangles and that's not what the pattern called for, and that's okay. But I love this vest. Isn't it cute? I love the colors, and this is what the yarn did. I'm going to show you in a second what the yarn looks like and then what it did. But basically, when you're done, then you just decide, you just lay them out, and then you attach the squares wherever you want to put them. It was really relatively easy. But it was so much fun. All right, so let me show you how I put this whole thing together. This is what they look like, just a series of squares. And you just make them really small. And then the pattern calls for you to attach them so the seam is on the outside. That's just kind of artistic. And you can see it's loose. A lot of it's going to depend on what kind of yarn you end up using. You can't use anything super thick and bulky. You might struggle with a 4 on this. A 3 is like perfect. And I think this yarn, we're going to look at here in a second, I think it's like maybe a 2. So it is a little bit loose. I did bring some other squares that were done in a thicker yarn so you can see what they looked like. But basically, I use this guy, this Zoom Loom. I found this on Amazon a long time ago. This was literally my very first project. I started making squares. I'd never done it before with this yarn on this loom. And it was funny. At the end, I was like, oh gosh, I think I'm going to run out of yarn. I was definitely playing yarn chicken. As it turned out, I had just enough. I have about that much left. I had just enough to not only make all the squares, but then sew it all together. And it was a little short in the back. So I was actually able to make one more row of the green and the blues and to finish it off. Yeah, oh my gosh, I just love this thing. So there's a lot of applications for a pin zoom loom. I've seen sweaters, I've seen amigurumi, I've seen jackets and scarves and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of information in this box, ideas. There's ideas on Pinterest. There are some pattern books that you can look at, and there's lots of patterns on Etsy. I'll get to my Etsy experiences here in a second. This is exactly what I used. This one entire ball made this whole entire vest, which I think is actually a sock yarn. So it could have made a pair of socks, made this whole entire vest, and it gave me enough to do all the seaming. Now, here's a funny thing. I needed to make three more squares. I already had 2 extras. I thought they were extras. Turns out they weren't. And I thought, the ball was maybe about like that big. I was like, ooh, I don't think this is going to work. I mean, it just worked, but just in case, I ordered another ball of this. And then of course I didn't need it. So now I've got this extra one, but this is exactly the color that I got. So it is, and it's in German, and I don't speak German. Even the label is written in German. So this is called, what I do know is it is the Zauberball Crazy by Shawl. That you can see. It is hard to find this yarn, and it's not cheap. I did find this on Amazon, and I was able to get free shipping. I think I did. It says virgin wool of Patagonia, certified origin. Well, that's good. I didn't realize that. I do love something that's from Patagonia. It says the original. Every sock is artwork. Every sock is unique. So it's typically a sock yarn, but isn't that stuff cool? And so basically you just start making squares. You can see all the colors, and just as you're about to finish a square, then it starts changing colors. Like, I just love this. So you can see how it goes, the oranges and the reds and then the greens. Just what a fun yarn to use. And sometimes you go, it's okay. And there's something like, oh, dude, that thing rocks. And this, I think, is going to be one of my little favorites. It's very artsy. I'm probably going to be wearing it at the Rhinebeck Festival coming up next month. So this was my first baby, made with the Zauberball Crazy yarn. Yeah. And so now I got this extra ball. I'm like, whoa, I think that would be really cool to make like a patchwork scarf. Like, same thing with the squares, but instead of making a vest, just make like a really big, maybe a wide, long scarf. So this made, I think there's about, well, I could tell you, I guess, if I really counted it. 28 on the front, 25 on the back. So what's that, like 50, some odd, 53, 54, something like that. So that's what you can make with this. Again, this yarn, it's pretty soft. It ain't going in my shoes, friends. This is some artistic yarn right here. This stuff is awesome. So that was my first whip. I finished it. I finished the squares in about June, and then we came back, and then I finally sewed it together. And once you sewed it together, it was like an afternoon, like a full weekend, like, 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday, 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday. Then I had to make a few more squares, and then that was it, and I was done. So to give you an idea of what other weights will look like, I made some sample squares with this yarn here, and I'm really bummed because this ball has no bands. I have these 2 skeins, and that's it. These 2. Actually, that could end up being the scarf that I was talking about. This feels like a cotton to me. I have no idea. I have no idea what this is or where I got it or anything. And I wish I knew, because I would be getting a lot more of this. But this is what those squares looked like. So here's one in the blues. When you can see, it is a thicker weave. I remember it was a little bit hard pulling the needle through some of this. And then this is what the pink one looked like. So that's what they do, like they go together. And I loved these. I think I'll just, I wish I knew. I will make these. I make them into squares because I love it. And then I'll just sort of like let them see what they do. This was a square that I made just out of a real basic acrylic. It could have been a Karen's. I don't really remember. But this, and it turned out to be really nice and soft. And then this one I made out of a natural fiber of some sort. I think it actually was one of my knit picks that had a little bit of nubby going on in it. So it's really interesting to see what can come out. And actually, these colors, they could totally go all together. I could throw in some of these and then mix and match some of the other colors and just make them fun. I'm having such a blast with this little thing, this little zoom loom. So, you know, there's times, let me tell you how my little brain works. I have projects throughout the house, right? I have projects up here. I don't work up here very often because I'm up here doing my videos. I really should. I mean, I made this crafting space for myself. I have projects. We have a little bar area, and I have some knitted and projects in there. And then when the Brit and I join up after dinner, we watch TV together, I have projects that are in the living room that I do. So I have projects around. And if we watch like 2 or 3 TV shows, I'll work on this project for one TV show and this project for the next TV show and this one for this. And so that way they all kind of get a little bit of love and a little bit of work. Unless there's one that I'm really close to finishing and I'm really excited, then I'll probably plow through that one. But the Zoom loom just kind of like sits on the edge because sometimes I'm like, I just need to make a square or 2. And then I just pick it up and I whip these out. So stay tuned. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with these, but I think you're going to see these little balls evolve into something else. And I'm just digging this zoomy loomy thingy. Next up, you know that we went to the UK. That's old news. And I got this gorgeous yarn. I got it on Wool on the X, I think it's called, or Wool on X or something. And all these beautiful little skeins. And I was super excited, loved it. Came home, started making a hat. I started working with color work for the first time. I think I like it, but I had a little bit of an issue with it because I started out, and all of this yarn is from the UK. So this is my UK yarn. I thought I'd make a project with it. I started out with this, which is great, and I was making the band for the hat. And then I started doing the color work with all these other different colors, these guys here, which were all part of a mini skein project. And what happened was when you're moving the colors back and forth across, your tension is changing because, you know, you're trying to tighten it and move the ends. Anyways, so as a result, the band fit my head, but the rest of it, I'm moving some stitch markers. The rest of it would have fit like a toddler. And it like literally it sat like maybe here. And then the rest would just funk. It was, I should have taken a picture of it and shown it to you all, but I was a little embarrassed. Even the Brit was like, oh, that's a fail. So I ended up, and I finished the hat, the beanie, literally finished it all. And I frogged the whole thing. Even the Brit was like, oh, that's really painful. It's like, it's very painful to do this. But I love the yarn. I'm going to put it in a bowl so you guys can really see it. You guys can see all of that in there. It's kind of a good place to keep it. And I'm going to put some of this. This is just for Olive, just knit for Olive or something. So I'm leaving that in there as well. So this is what I made. I wove this. I haven't got to the crochet and knit yet. I'll get to that in a second. So I ended up making this guy, which is not typically my kind of colors, but I like it. I like it. It's a little short, and that is because I used this ball for my warp, which is the one that is held under tension back and forth. I used this, and then the idea was I was going to bring in all the other colors, and I still had the hat going, and so this was left, and I didn't add this to the warp. So it's only this long. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe make this into a cowl. The bummer is this is one side with the fringe, which I love. I love this side here. It's working out well. And I just did a kind of like a runner stitch along the bottom here, you can see, with one of the contrast yarns. And that's what holds it all in place. And believe it or not, it actually works really, really well. So that was one side, which I like this fringe about this length. I think that's really nice. Unfortunately, on the other side, this is the length of that fringe. And I'm like, oh. And this, I think, is too short. So I'm having a Goldilocks moment. Like, is this too long? Is this too short? If I cut this to this length, it's going to be too short. So what I might do is just fold it over, give it a seam, and then maybe turn this into a cowl. I like it though, and I just basically wove in the colors, all those British colors that I showed you. And I also used, with some of it, I used some of the Just Knit for Olive, which I had from my Viking hat left over. So this is it. even the Brit was like, ooh, I kind of like that. I do like the colors. It is much more muted than things that I typically do for me. But I really like it. I just have to figure out what the end result is going to be. And it might just end up being a cowl that kind of goes around like this. And then I just sew the edges together. And then it might do that, which would work. What I could do, is, I'm just thinking out loud on camera, I could fold this part and give this a seam, like so, right? And then I could sew it onto like something like that so that it only has that one side of the, and maybe even kind of do like a little crossover. So it would kind of go like kind of crossed over to here and you'd get the fringe. I don't know. We'll see. I have to keep playing with this, but this is done. This was on the loom, and this I did in August as well. I like it. It's a tad scratchy. Tad scratchy. But I got to figure something out because I think I might be bringing this to Rhinebeck as well. This is definitely going to be my cooler weather stuff. So there you go. This is what's left. I would really appreciate it. You guys comment what you think because there's so many little teeny tiny balls in here. I don't know. I want them all to go together, but I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know. Maybe I could do something from the Doodle Directory, from Jamie Lomax. I got her book. Moving on. So those are my finished. I don't have anything else that's currently finished. But this one is kind of cool. And this is by, let me find the pattern. Oh yes, 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. So actually, okay, there's a story. I originally was making this scarf from 2 of Wands. And I was using the Hue and Me, which is that bulky yarn from LionBrand. So I got a lot of this Hue and Me from LionBrand so I could show you all the new colors. It looks like this. It is a wool blend. It is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. But I loved the colors, very muted and stuff like that. So I started making this scarf, this zigzag thing. And I was like, ooh, no. It just wasn't, I wasn't feeling it. I loved the pattern. I think it looks gorgeous. But I was just like, I don't feel it. I'm just not feeling it. So I decided to end up doing just a wave blanket. And this is knit. That was crochet. What I'm doing is knit. But I am using all of my 2 of Wands. I'm sorry, my Hue and Me. And it's coming out really cool. So let me show you what's up with this. And it's working up really, really fast. So so these are the colors that I'm doing. And this is just, it's kind of like a weave. Weave, like a chevron, but it's a little bit softer. So you can see how I started with, and basically what I'm doing is I start with the ball, and when that ball is done, I move on to the next ball, and I do a whole entire ball. And I'm trying to do a ball a day. A couple days I was able to do it, and a couple days it's like, oh, it's taking me a day and a half. So, but basically it is a knit together and a yarn over repeat. And then I'm moving into the sage. You see I did the plum. Then I moved into the kind of a lavender color. Then I'm going into this really pretty blue. And then from there, I think I'm going to move into this blue. So that's going to kind of tie in together like that. So I'm doing like a light and a dark and a light and a dark. So that's going to go there. And then I've got these 3 balls left. That's it. So I'm getting pretty close. So I'm going to go with this guy. Then I'll probably go with one of these darker colors and then this middle light, and I'll end. So I'll probably do like maybe this color next, and then I'll do the light, and then I'll end on that guy. So this is working up super, super fast. I broke, I had a pair of like bamboo needles with the plastic. They were cheap. And it broke right here. And it broke where the needle came off, and then the cable was in here. I'm like, oh. One of the things I hate about knitting is if you start to lose stitches, it's like the whole world has to freeze. With crochet, because it's only one stitch right on the hook. But with knitting, you got all this going on. And you're like, oh, don't move. And it was a panic mode. So I had to very carefully wind it all through, save it. And then I found these on Amazon. And this is Chigo. I think I'm going to say Chigo. You guys are going to correct me. That's fine. But it's really nice. It's this nice cable that's inside. It is sturdy, 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 strong with aluminum. So I love these. I'm not buying the whole set of them. I'm just buying, you know, like what I need when I need. But this is a beautiful, beautiful set. So if you're interested in and it's super long, it's a really long cable. So this is I think it's 127 stitches across. And then the pattern is you do 3 knit together stitches, and then you do 6 yarn over and then knit, do that 6 times. Then you do another 3 of the knit together, so that's the one pattern, but you have to repeat that. So basically you do 3 knit togethers, 6 yarn overs and knits, 3 and 3. So technically that's 6 knit togethers. Then you go back in the yarn overs, then you do another 6, and then I think you end on the 3 or whatever it is. So that's how that is working out. But it's cool. I love it. It's super pretty. And this is just going to be an Afghan for me or the Brit to, you know, have while we're watching TV as we're getting into the winter. So yay, we're getting into winters. Very excited. So this is another one. This should be done by the end of September. So I'll show you how this one turns out. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of books on socks, on netting socks, on crocheting socks. And I'm like, I'm just like, got the jonesing. So one of the first ones I got was this one, Knit a Box of Socks. And of course there's some great sock yarn in here that I'm like, ooh, but I have to buy more yarn and buy more yarn and buy more yarn. And even though I have completely blown out of the water the no buy in 2025, I'm like, I got sock yarn. I'm going to try to figure out what I'm making. So I just went with something super, super simple. And I am doing a cuff down sock. This one here. Very simple. And the yarn was easy. It was variegated. I had this stuff here, which I don't know where the tag is. I think this is a universal yarn. I think I got it from Premier. It's pretty. This is my sock. It's coming along. It's coming along very nicely. So that was this is the top down. So that's the top part. And then this is let me pull that little needle out there. This is it. I'm just knitting in the round. See that? I finished the heel. And then I kind of stopped because I started getting excited about the blanket. I was like, don't stop. Don't stop the sock. So, and it's only the one sock. I still have another sock to go, which I have plenty to do in here. But I got to finish it. I got it. But it's, you know, there's one thing that I really love. When you knit a sock, that knit pattern is so gosh darn pretty. It's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? I just love all the stitches. I love how this yarn is coming out. It's just so pretty. And then, so basically I finished the back set, the gusset, I think they call it. And then this is the heel. So I just have to finish the bottom part and then attach it to the top like that. So it's going like this. You might see the one sock done by the end of September. I don't think you're going to see the second sock done, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. So that's this guy. Next up, all right, let me show you some of the other things I'm still working on. I'm telling you, I've been busy. I've really been busy. All right, this was one I started a long time ago, and I was so sick and tired of using this one particular color yarn. I was like, I just got to stop. And so I put it aside, but I was like, nope. You got to finish it. You got to finish this. So this yarn is from Purple Lamb Fibers, which I love. You guys, I know I've talked about her a lot. She does some beautiful assigned pooling yarns. Carla is her name, and is at Purple Lamb Fibers. So the assigned pooling is this peacock. It was a peacock feathers yarn. So, and each row that you do is different. So here you can see where I did the assigned pooling in here. And then it calls for you to do assigned pooling different in other areas. See how this is just like a yarn over stitch, whereas this is like a bobble stitch. And then I did some more yarn over. So it's just kind of like whatever you want. it's just one of those projects where I was like, oh, I just gotta get it done, you know? And so this project here sits with me in the bar area during the day. The big blanket and the sock sits with me during the TV at night. And I've got another project that sits in the bar with me during the day. So, and then I just move back and forth between them. You probably ask yourself, do you have anything else going on in your life? I do. I'll talk about that one in a second. So anyways, so I think it's going to be really pretty when it's all done. It is I think they call it the Metamorphosis shawl. I believe that's what it was called. And it was from Carla at Purple Lamb Fibers. So I'm actually using the yarns that she calls for, and I'm using the pattern and all of it from Carla. So this guy is going to be done soon. I hope. So I was actually invited to be a pattern tester for a couple of the patterns that were in this book by Janine Maiska. And one of them was, where did it go? I was so honored to be asked. I did this pattern, the Coachella Valley button-up. And it came out gorgeous. I loved it. And it was, oh God, her patterns are amazing. So easy, so thorough. And there's some beautiful, beautiful patterns in here. So I was asked to do that and a kind of like a summer top that's in here as well. Like a bikini, like bralette is what we call them. I can't find it for a moment here. But anyways, it was a really, really fun pattern. And I was so excited to do it. So the yarn that I used for this is, it's by Universal Yarn, and it's called, don't get excited, I'm going to tell you what it is, but you're not going to find it. It's called Radiant Cotton. It's 100% Egyptian cotton. And I just loved working with it. It's great for garments. It has the structure, but it doesn't have a lot of like drape to it and hang, but it's got some, it's got really nice drape, but it doesn't like lose its shape like bamboo does. It's a beautiful yarn to work with. They don't make it anymore. They don't make it anymore. And I'm so mad because I got these. So this one here, this color is called Custard. I have looked everywhere. I have gone on eBay. I've gone on Ravelry. I've gone on Amazon. I have gone everywhere I possibly can go to find this yarn, and nobody has it. Like, I'm looking, does somebody have it in their stash that they want to sell to me? $1,000 a ball, I'll buy it. No problem. Nobody has it. So I am literally playing yarn chicken because this here and this little bit here, this is it. This is all I got left. This is it. And I have been eyeballing this crocheted top. I think I saw it at Neiman Marcus once. I don't shop at Neiman Marcus. Don't get excited. I was having tea there with my cousin, and it's like it was a navy blue and white top and skirt that was selling for like $2,000. I was like, no, I can make that. So it's been on my list in my head for 2 to 3 years to make this thing. I finally thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. Well, you can do it. And I've seen it in green and I've seen it in the navy blue. And I have a lot of the green, this guy here, and it's just about this color. So I finished the front of the top. I have to now do the back of the top. This is what it looks like. And I love it. I love the symmetry, right? So basically, and it's just a granny stitch that goes across. You just have to, it gets a little slightly tricky when you get it up here into the arms because you have to do some decreases to get it to the points. But this is the front. And then I'm making the back. So you should see this. And it's going to have a border around the edges. You'll see this probably in September because I've started on the back side of the top. So it's going to kind of go like this guy. Well, it's hard to see, but. So that's the front. Then I'm going to do the back, and then I'm going to do the matching skirt. Now, the problem is this doggone yarn because it's not around. And I don't think that I'm going to have enough. I'm certain I'm not going to have enough of this to do the skirt as well. I do have enough to finish the back of the top. I do. So what I think I'm going to do is do that. And I have been buying like single skeins of every yarn that looks like this that I can possibly find. I think I found something that's similar on LionBrand. This is a weight of a 3 yarn. And so I'm finding stuff like a weight of a 2 or a weight of a 4. I'm like, why did you get rid of this yarn? Why did you get rid of it? I have it in red. I have it in claret. I have it still in yellow, kind of like a light blue. I have it in like all kinds of colors. I actually even made a dress that was a Taylor Swift lookalike, like a shift that she wore. I made that one last year, granny stripe, and I could do another one of those, but I love it. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is finish the top in the custard, and then I have enough green, so I use the same green, and then I'll have to use something that is as close as I can find to the custard, which is the cream colored one for the skirt. And hopefully the fact that they're going to be just, you know, like a little bit apart, that you're not really, really going to notice it. The Brit might notice it. I'll be like, go away, just go away. Anyways, so we'll see. So I'll keep you posted on that one. I did find a pattern on Etsy because I just wanted to make sure I had like the measurements right and different things like that. I found 2 people that had the pattern on Etsy. So I bought both patterns. Why not support both? One of them, the pattern was poo-poo. It was horrible. I'm sorry. I won't even tell you who it was. I'll tell you the one that's really good. But her notes were incomplete. It's like she was writing notes. They was incomplete. There was no chart. I literally had to look at the picture and like try to count. So I was able to get to the same spot from that pattern and then transfer over to the new pattern. That was tricky. But it actually worked. So this is what it's actually going to end up looking like when it's all said and done. That's the top and that's the skirt. And so it's going to be somewhat symmetrical, I suppose, with the triangles. It looks kind of like that's what they did there. But you don't have to. I mean, you can just go, you know, you can change the colors as much as you want. But I think the fact that I'm going to want to wear them together, I'm going to have to keep the colors somewhat symmetrical. Anyways, it's just beautiful. So this pattern that I found, and it is crochet, that I love this woman. It's Olga Valkovska, and it's called the Crocheted Summer Top. I got the top and then I got the skirt. You can buy them together, which I didn't do it, and I should have, because then I would have gotten, you know, you got like a quantity discount, but that's okay. So I bought the pattern for the skirt today, and I should be getting it done. So this is what the top is going to look like when it's all done. Isn't that pretty? The Brit was like, oh, I like the green. I was like, okay. I mean, if he has an opinion, I will take that to the bank. I kind of wish I had it in the navy blue. I kind of wish I did it in the navy blue, but it is what it is. He made a comment. He had a preference. I like it in the green, and I'm going to do something else in the navy blue. I think that will be really pretty. But isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it? I just think it's so pretty. You know what? The Brit, he is such a good guy. He's such a great guy. He made me my favorite dessert. Ouch, I got a paper cut. He made my favorite dessert for my birthday. It's a pastel. I think is what it is. Pastel. It's Portuguese. It's like a little Portuguese egg tart. He freaking made the dough and everything. Like, the guy's he's taken, very taken. Anyways, but I think I might try to make him like a top with the navy blue and have just some like little stripes kind of going through it. I think that would be really nice. I even have some in a nice kind of a burnt rust color that would be really nice as well. And I'll have just enough white, so we'll kind of look alike, but not twinsies. If I wear the green and the white dress and top, or top and skirt, and he wears a top, we'll look kind of twinsy, but not. That'll be fun. And lastly, as if there isn't enough to do, I mean, let's take a little bit of inventory here. I've got the top and skirt going on. I've got that shawl from Purple Lamb Fibers going on. I got that blanket going on, and I got the sock. So, because you got 2 feet. So that's 4 projects I currently have on the go. But I got 2 more projects I want to start. I think 2. Maybe 1, maybe 2. And yeah, I know. AD. ADYD, attention yarn disorder. Like I just, and then they go. All right. So Tony Lipsy from TL Yarn Crafts. I love her. And I hope she's going to be at Rhinebeck. I kind of think she is. I'm going to be like grooming her. I bought this kit last year from her. It's called the Bahama Wrap. And it's Tunisian. I have never done Tunisian. I've wanted to try it. I picked it up a couple of times and then I'm like, oh, I don't know. So this might be a project that I take with me on a trip, but I bought the kit. Like it came with everything. All this yarn. This is a landscape yarn. And the reason it made me think about it, so this is called Landscape Breezes. And the color that I ended up getting was, it's really pretty. It's called Horseshoe. Oh, Horseshoe. It is 68% modal, 26% acrylic, and 6% wool. But it is it's a blown fiber yarn. And I didn't understand it quite. You can see how it's more of like a tube kind of a yarn, if you can see that. So what they do, this is what's interesting, is they kind of make this tube and then they blow fiber into it. So it makes it this really airy, kind of a light, it's just interesting. It's kind of artsy. Anyways, so Tony recently came out with this Tunisian cardigan that's a beginner level, and she's using this landscape. And I thought, I have her landscape yarn for this Bahama Wrap. Yeah. And I have enough for the Bahama Wrap because I bought the kit. But then I'm like, do I want to buy it? It's super soft. It's really soft. I don't know if I want the cardigan in it. So I think I'm going to do the wrap, but I might do the cardigan in another. All you're looking for is a weight of 4. But this yarn is really, really interesting. But they call it a blown, it doesn't even really talk about it on here. But it's like they literally blow it into these little strands. Like if you look closely at the ends, I don't know if you can see that. You can see how it's like hollow in the middle. And then they blow magic into it. It's magic yarn. It's very soft. It's really, really soft. This is the Landscapes Breeze. And the color I have here is Horseshoe. And they have some beautiful colors. They have kind of like some sand colors. They have like an orange. So this is going to be, I think, my next project to get going with. And I'm going to keep this pattern with it. And I think I'm going to do the cardigan as well. She currently has it on her website. And if you just do the blog, you can get the pattern for free. You just have to go through all the ads. Or you can go to LionBrand and you can buy the kit, which includes the yarn, and then you get the pattern for free. And right now their kits are on sale. And they're kind of usually always on sale. So you can actually get the kit for like maybe $30, which includes the yarn, which is great. But it would include this, the Landscape Breezes, and it would be for the cardigan. This is the Bahama Wrap that I'm going to do. So I think that's going to be really pretty. So this is one. The cardigan might be the second one that I get going on. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. All right. Well, I think that's, as a result of getting, I had some Tunisian hooks, but they're just straight hooks. And Tony, and I do whatever Tony says, she says you need to have a corded Tunisian hook. These I found on Amazon, and these are, and apparently the metal Tunisian hooks are the best ones to get because I guess they don't split the yarns. They got a really nice sharp head. I haven't used these yet. And they are corded. So it's got the corded set. This was a beautiful set. So it comes with looks like a 60 inch. I'm assuming it just says 60. I'm going with inch. Maybe it's centimeters, but let's go with inch. There's a 60. Here's an 80. Here is a 40. And then these are your stoppers and, you know, your tighteners and things like that. And this set was nice because it comes with a set of scissors. So the reason I got this one over the silver ones was and there's another cording thing in here. This is a 100. Whoa. Wow. Okay. The reason I got this set was it's my signature color, rose gold. Look at that. See? I mean, that's like camouflage. You can't even see my nails. Isn't that beautiful? But more importantly, the hooks are gold plated, but they're aluminum. And the other ones that I found were nickel plated, which I can't touch. So I went with these guys. But that's a really nice full set. And this came in at like 60 or something. If you're interested, I'll include the link in the notes, the show notes. But this looks like a really beautiful set, and it comes with all the cables and everything, and they just slide all in there. Isn't that pretty? I'm loving this, and I didn't realize that it was as rose gold as it is, but it's my signature color. All right, so this is going to be going with this, and I'm really gonna just give myself a good go and a good start. There are a couple other projects that I have in my noggin that I want to, you know, put down on yarn, but I think this is enough to get going with. I got to show you something in September anyway, so that's all I've got for you right now. Whew. That was a lot. If you've just joined us, I'm really glad that you're here. We do tutorials and we do the whips. I haven't done one in a while, so this was a little bit lengthy. I apologize. And project reviews and product reviews and things like that. I'm going to the Rhinebeck Wool and Yarn Festival in October, and I'm hoping to maybe get to interview one or two of the authors and the artists that are going to be at the festival. We'll see, because their schedules are going to get kind of busy. I'm sure I'm not, you know, like top of their list to talk to, but we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be coming to you from the Rhinebeck Festival, or at least bringing you footage and showing you what that's all about. So make sure you stay tuned. Please share us with your friends. Like this button, or like and subscribe, so you get to know all the notifications. You get to know when I've got new videos coming through. And please share me with your friends, because we're all friends here and we have a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I'll see you soon.